Hello, I'm Melissa.
This is Ivanovich, Ivan, personal use.
And welcome to our channel, Unity for Gaia. Today, our little chat is about what's your mission, which is such a hot topic and flavor in the New Age, Awakened, Spiritual, Starseed, whatever vernacular you want to use in a community where we all have that feeling that we're here to help the world somehow. There's something we brought. There's a reason we're here. Lots of people are like, what's my mission? And he has a irritable spot for that from being in the military. He doesn't like the phrase mission.
That's not why I'm smiling. I'm smiling because she's like, we here. Are we here? Are we here? Are we talking about we here as in since you're from the hood? You know
Whatever.
You know what I'm saying?
We be here. Know what I saying, yo?
Exactly. Or country bumpkin over here. It's like we here, y'all.
So
I'm just saying, says little Miss Daisy over here, Miss Southern Belle. Well, she was a Northern Belle, now she's a Southern Belle. But anyways, back to the mission at hand. I don't have a charge with the word mission. It's just sometimes the way people use that word, it almost, to me, it feels anyways, and I know everyone's different. Not just because, the paramilitary stuff, but sometimes it may come off as, it's your mission to do this, so there's this pressure to do something, which you may not know what that something is. And for me anyways, it's been one of those sensations of, okay, well, let me get on my mission. What is my mission? I don't know. I don't remember. I had amnesia. We all have amnesia, as we incarnate here. So it's just that. It's just, there's no trigger there. There was, but that's been many moons ago. I'm just saying.
we might have a little bit of our silly pants on today. So, a serious topic and a lighthearted, maybe discussion about it, right? So, the topic of what's your mission, this is something we talk about a lot between the two of us. That people ask, what's my mission? What am I here for? People come to things like BQH sessions to heal, but that's a big question that people ask in those kind of sessions is, what am I supposed to be here to do? What am I here to do?
What's my purpose?
And one of the things that I was told years ago, and kind of holds true, nobody likes to hear it, is it's up to you to figure out. And you have to go through the process and go through the work, and it will be revealed to you. Like it's, Oz behind the curtain or something weird. But
it's gotta be Oz.
So we're just gonna share with you what we've discovered, what we think the formula is, and you can take it or leave it, and maybe there'll be something helpful here to help you. So let's get started. Number 1 is to heal. To do your work healing. And nobody likes to hear that. We've done videos on spiritual bypassing, which is a hot topic, and kind of involves you come online, you get awakened, whatever's going on, and you want to live in those upper chakras and do the work up there where you're like, well, I want to be telepathic, and I want to, talk to spirits or whatever it is, some version of having your higher multidimensional faculties on. But nobody wants to do the work down here in the lower energy centers, in the lower chakras, in the stuff that's really been anchored and ground in from your earth lives, and clearing that, because you got to clear those things to get clear. Yes.
Anyways.
What would you like to add?
As I clear my throat. So speaking of telepathy, we both must have been picking up on each other's thought forms, because I was just about to say, what does the bottom 3, i.e. your solar plexus, sacral and root chakra entail? You're being grounded, being here on planet Earth, and being grounded, planet Earth, etc., etc. dealing with your earth lives, dealing with your earth traumas and what it all entails here on this beautiful planet. Anything that entails from this lifetime or any other lifetimes. As far as healing, there are many, many modalities. Hypnosis is one of them. Breath work, there's Reiki, there's any other form of healing that you gravitate to just because something grabs your attention. It's obviously because you are ready to go down that trajectory, whatever that may entail. As far as abilities and things to come online, the healing aspect and what is my mission, as you go through your healing process, as you actually put the energy, the effort to pursue healing yourself, that becomes clearer. You can, and I've talked to other people like myself that's like, oh my God, I'm awake. I'm this, I'm that. I'm intuitively, I'm starting to recognize a lot of things. So what's my mission? What am I here to do? I want to do humanitarian stuff, or I want to interact with people and heal people and what have you. And you may be doing it already without knowing that you were doing it. And a perfect example is Melissa. In this sense, her profession has been in the physical fitness industry, nutrition, rehabilitation, mobility, etc., right? So as using that as a reference, she's been doing it for many moons already, helping humanity, helping people know their body, understand their body, because the body is your temple. That body is your anchor here to assist all of us, all of humanity collectively. And that's that. You might not have thought of, and this has been part of our conversation, that a lot of people get fixated into, I have to do this form or that form because it's very spiritually, what's the word? It's what falls under the spiritual community of how to heal, but not necessarily. A lot of times, healing yourself entails also cleansing your body. That is part of healing yourself as well. And we can go into a different tangent, but just for the sake of conversation, is literally heal. That is how you move forward and how you get more clarity into what is your mission.
Well, the healing process, if you want to talk about the lower energy centers and just kind of, I mean, it's so involved, but keep it very basic. Your root chakra, which many of you know, that is your foundation. That is your roots here. That's your root in the physical body. That's your root into the core of Gaia, if you want to look at it that way. But your root is where your abundance, your financial issues, your who am I and why am I here, that actually starts down there in the root chakra. So if you have a lot of distortion around that, and it can be from ancestral, things that have been passed on to you, belief systems about how you make money, how you earn money, all those kind of things, they live down there. And then you come up into, that needs to be supported. So if you move up into your second chakra, which is your sacral chakra, everyone thinks it's just like the sex chakra, but what is like good pure sexual energy is creation energy. And so that's where you create from, but also where a lot of fear gets stored. And that can be ancestral, that can be this lifetime. So there's a lot of things you have to clear around there, because to create and to start to manifest after you find that foundation, you need your creative center to be healthy, open, functioning, and moving energy.
Balance.
And then you come up into your solar plexus, which you could look at as your mind, a connection to your mind, but that's your power. How you put your power behind something to manifest it, right? And where does it sit? It sits right below the heart. So we want to kind of weave up into the heart there, which is the bridge between the physical chakras and those upper energy centers, now where you start to communicate through your throat, you express. And the communication here is tied directly into the sacral chakra. Those two things work together. So if you're feeling blocked up here, you may have some blockages down there. It's just why it's so important to really do the healing and work through all those things and not pass by them. And if you've had lifetimes here on Earth and you're here now, right? You've got some stuff that's happened in those energy centers and some things that are there that need to be cleared out, especially if you are confused, really trying to figure out what your mission is, so to speak, why you're here, and what you're here to do and how you're here to help. It's going in and doing the work there. I've been doing it there for years, and I still do it. You know, there's so many layers, so much stuff and crud that's been there, on so many levels. So that's part of it, is really starting your healing process. Now, could you say you have to be fully healed to be on your mission helping people? No, because anyone who's here doing the work is always working on healing. You never really get away from that. Some of the best like master teachers that I know out there and have taken courses and I'm taking courses from, they're always working on their healing. It's ongoing because there's so much there. But as you heal and you clear, now you have more things come online. The energy flows better. Your creativity flows better. You're able to start accessing and tapping into those things. So the big one, what happens on Earth has to be healed on Earth, right?
Right.
So that's definitely one. And then that leads into you being able to start to find what's your talents and skill set.
Right. And a lot of that, I know. We already know what our gifts are. And it's very simple, just in the sense of, what job are you doing? Why did you gravitate to do a certain job? Whether it's makeup, hair, mechanic, biologist, scientist, etc., etc., etc. Why did you gravitate towards that? There's obviously something in here, depending how you want to view your soul, that has pulled you in that direction. So many people have already been doing their mission, for many moons. They have just not recognized that that's been their mission, right? So what is it that brings you all that enjoyment out of living every day? I myself happen to be a technician, a mechanic and things like that, because I enjoy tearing things apart, putting them back together, making them function the way they're designed to function. And I enjoy learning more about how everything from a technical standpoint, how everything interacts with everything and how everything works. So myself, just like many others that are going through their awakening process and are learning their intuitive abilities and so on and so forth, there's not a separation of this is my intuitive side and this is my mundane side. There's no such thing.
It's all you.
One. Exactly. There's no, this is my 5D work and this is my 3D. It's all the same. So me, if I wanted to be part of a community of very, what do you call it, guides? Awakened people, and I want to assist humanity, I can bring those skill sets in whatever practical application, whether it's fixing something within the house, or fixing something on a vehicle, or someone's boat, or what have you. I have those skill sets that I am willing to offer to assist someone on how to resolve an issue. And if you want to talk about free energy and stuff like that, well, there's quite a bit of technical skills that's required to bring a lot of those thought forms, templates, platforms to start creating and inventing things like that. So
Yes.
myself as a technician, I have this skill set that I can bring forth to the table, and I'm already very intuitive. So using everything married together. Oh, you guys are funny. Anyways, this is how I apport to assisting humanity in that sense. And there's no separation of, I have to be a tarot card reader, or I have to be having these one-on-one sessions with people. There's many venues of what are your skill sets? What are your gifts? This is my gifts. Just like many other people that are very creative with the makeup industry, the hair industry, that's actually a good thing right there. How do you raise someone else's frequency? You make them look gorgeous. You do their hair, their makeup, the what have you, guys and girls, however, that applies. But you make someone feel good about existing.
Well, there's, that's what Unity for Gaia is being able to retool the systems. And being able to bring that new earth we all talk about forward. Well, part of that is, and you don't have to go far to look in the world today to see how the old system is flailing and dying on every level, whether it's education, just the way like commerce moves, the way goods move, everything. It's all going through a change because the frequency, that's coming in, that's higher and higher, it's rattling everything, and everything has to come up to meet it. So it's either going to rise up to meet it, or it's going to
crumble.
And we, who came here and awakened, came here to help an entire planet. So the first thing I want to say is as you heal, finding that divine neutrality. And we've all done this where it's like, the muggles or the sleepers or the sheepers or whatever term you want to use, because it's frustrating. And I personally, the reason I have found it to be frustrating is because you say to yourself, well, I've been doing this work on myself for years, and I'm here to help you, and you're crying out for the help, but you're looking in the wrong direction. And if you would just get out of our way and get out of your own way, so to speak, like, we actually want to help you, and we see it as making the job difficult and frustrating sometimes. But this whole like red pilling people are going to come to that information when it's a vibrational match for them, first of all. And the best way to bring a world to them that's a vibrational match is to show by example, lead by example, and teach through love and unity. And so unity gets thrown around a lot, especially with like the odd like WOKE community, like it's a total distortion of that. But the overall, if we're going to unify a planet, unity for Gaia is about, wherever you are in the world, reaching out and doing humanitarian projects. You don't have to be through your healing and talking to 12-foot beings and, flying out of the body and having astral travel to be able to open your heart and assist your fellow humanity, the animals, the plants, whatever version of the living, breathing, existence that you want to help with. That is so important, whether you are like the builders, working on projects like Habitat for Humanity, giving people homes and assisting in that way. Whatever it is, doing humanitarian things and getting out there and putting that love into the world. People need to see that now more than ever, because those that are stuck in fear, that are stuck in that frequency control, the false matrix, that are still believing what's being propagated to them, when they are locked down in fear, and that's where all their stuff comes from, whether it's fear in their ancestral line, fear from their lifetime, fear, whatever it is, if you siphon it all down to its lowest common denominator, it's fear. Fear locks down the DNA, and fear stops people from coming up and feeling that love and tapping into it themselves. So showing them that abundance of love and putting it out there into the world, and just continuing to raise the frequency by doing that. Nice gestures, kind gestures, showing love, spreading the love around the world, right?
Showing that movement, moving the energy, showing people and giving people the opportunity to see that in order to heal, you need to move. In order to move, you need to invest. In order to invest, you need to look within. Going to investing in yourself is putting forth the effort to move forward. Quit being stuck on, and it's easier said than done, honestly, unless you're the participant that you are stuck in a certain scenario. Is how long are you going to sit there? Heal yourself. Allow yourself to move forward past that, and allow yourself to grow that way. And to her point of being the example is, if you are that person that are further along, please be the example. Show other people that by you being you, you're giving them an example and a reason to move forward. It's really that simple. Do your stuff and be that for you. Not be that for them, because it almost sounds like you should do this. That's not what I'm saying. be that for yourself, and in turn the byproduct of is you are an example for other people to start questioning, and this has helped me a lot too, where I'm viewing other people, well, so-and-so's doing this and it's working for them, maybe I should entertain whatever that other person inspired me to do, or that path or that modality or whatever. But you are healing yourself and going that direction, and don't view yourself as, well, I don't have, what do I have to offer to humanity? You're an able-bodied person, or even if you're not an able-bodied person, words inspire and help tremendously. Just wow, you look really good today. Just a comment like that automatically lifts someone up, just from maybe being in a I'm stuck and I don't know how to move forward. That creates a little bit of momentum, and they just start snowballing as far as that goes. Anything else?
Well, you mentioned tarot cards, and I can do tarot card readings for people. Plus now there's like all these different oracle cards out there that come with books, so you can, and a lot of people, it's very entertaining and it's fun, and there's some stuff there to help you out, and but I see those things personally as new age entertainment more than anything else. They're entertaining and they're fun. It's like back in the day, with some of you might not even like ever have experienced this because you may be very young, but we would get the newspaper, and the Sunday paper would come, and I didn't care about anything else in there. When I was a teenager, I flipped through to the astrology section. Like that's what I wanted to see, the astrology section, right? And so you look at these things as guides to assist you, or kind of like confirmation, which a thing is something we all do because we haven't, people haven't had their intuition and things like clear and streamlined in so long that they don't trust it, or they've been taught not to trust it. So they like to look for confirmation, or kind of like, hey, what's going on? And it's fine. It's all entertainment. But there's models of things that have been put out there that we see when we awaken, where we're like, oh, I could do tarot card reading, or oh, I could do this, even BQH. It's something we do, but I'm writing a book right now. There's other things that we are working on, and our Unity for Gaia site, and soon we'll be telling you like what that's all about. And so, we have other projects we're working on. It's not just this one thing in that arena, because there's a lot of quantum healers out there, a lot of people that can help with that. Just like yoga, I'm a yoga teacher, and that came from years of, personal training with people. But that's filtering me into something else that there's going to be a whole series of videos posted on here about, which is healing, working through those chakras, moving our Kundalini energy, stuff like that. And even that you can find a lot of information out there about. So my long way around, what I'm getting to is that we need a lot of new stuff and retooled stuff out there. So thinking outside the box, being creative. If you were a school teacher, or if you were in the education system and you've left it because of the weird stuff going on, and you see there's such a need out there for people and these children coming in that they want something different, working to create that. Maybe taking them on outings that apply to homeschooling, where you go out in nature and you teach them about, biodynamic gardening and the frequencies and the sounds, tuning into the plants, nature, how everything works together, the harmonics, whatever it is that you can take that you did and transfer and shift and start shifting those things. So I want to bring up something here that Ivan shared with me, and was that last week? The radio station in Mexico City.
Oh yeah.
So this gentleman, he is, and he's not out there like, I'm part of the Awakened New Age community. He is just
Can I say the name?
doing, of course, he's just doing God's work, so to speak, and what he is doing is amazing. And this is a perfect example of how we can all step forward and help now.
The YouTube videos, or video videos, is Radio Mojarra.
You might want to spell that, because those of us that don't speak Spanish. My Spanish vocabulary is still limited, so.
I was gonna spell it, but Miss Fancy Pants over here Anyways, it's spelled Radio, radio. Mojarra, Mojarra. And this happens to be a gentleman that actually came to the United States. Mojarra is slang for, no disrespect, I'm Mexican, just FYI, putting it out there. Mojado is slang for wetback. So mojarra is a play on a derogatory term to have its own spin into something more positive. And this happens to be a gentleman that has been traveling across the United States of Mexico. But you didn't know that you were called the United States of Mexico. But in showcasing just the culture, the Mexican culture, and what have you, everything that he has built up, he's built it up himself, including his Volkswagen vehicles. You know, he's got Beetles. He loves the Volkswagen bus. And if you ever gone to Mexico, you know that VWs don't die over there. They come to life over and over and over again. But his whole thing is he's built a following via social media, and so many people see what he does over there, and he's showcasing not only the culture, places that people don't have no clue that even exist, and of course he has GoPros and all that, and he's recording all this, talking about certain things that may be on his mind, and he is a chatterbox, but it's very relevant stuff, and he ends up driving next to or stops. And if you go to Mexico, you know that if there's no shortage of eateries, even on the side of the roads. There's someone cooking some home cooked meals. So he would talk and record and would ask even the people, how much you guys make a week and what have you. I mean, how's business? You know, because these are poor people that they don't have any internet.
There's a lot of poverty.
Yeah, a lot of poverty. So their whole world is literally have the crops grown? Is it harvest time? Do we have enough food to eat? Do we have money for maybe a sack of rice and some beans? Maybe if they're lucky, their delicacy is having a chicken maybe once a month, if that. So a lot of impoverished places like that he just starts having conversations with people and gets to know them a little bit, and he's very, very amicable and whatnot. And when he comes to find out the history of what they do, he's like, hey, well, you know, there's a lot of people from the United States that send me money, and they say, we love what you're doing, and what we would love for you to do is all those poor people that you see out there, here's the money. If you feel appropriate, he starts handing people whatever they made even for a month, which it would be the equivalent of, or even a couple of months, my higher self is just reminding me, $100 is what they sometimes make in 2 months, maybe 3 months. So when you have someone coming forward and saying, hey, this is from the support from the people from our people that are going abroad and working, and and I feel you guys have a good heart, you're good people, and here's the equivalent of $100. So a lot of people are shocked because no one's ever comes to them and gives them, say for instance, a 3-month salary in one day. So you have people getting emotional, start tearing up, and they're just, well, thank you. I don't know what to say. And his whole thing is, you don't have to say anything. Your heart says it all. You guys are really, really good people, and thank you for the meal and what have you. And a lot of times he makes it like, oh, how much is it? It's this amount, and he gives them way more, and so they're like, hey, you give me too much, and they're being honest people, but it's like, no, that's what that meal's worth, and I want to do this for you because you guys are genuine. And even people that he would meet just driving down the road, knowing where his destination is at, it's pretty common for him to pull over because he'll see people just squatted down or maybe herding a cow from one corral to another corral, and just saying something to the effect, hey, do you know where this location's at? Is this the road that leads to this one town? Yeah, just go down the way, you about 15 kilometers or whatever, and then, you know, there's this town, and then you may make a left, and then it's right up ahead. You're not too far. Oh, okay, because this is something that's very common in Mexican culture, because a lot of, over there's not a lot of GPS like we have here in the States. So seeing people that he knows that are in need, and just for asking directions, and just saying, well, thank you so much, and it's been nice talking to you. And by the way, here's a bill. Here's a freaking 500 pesos or 1,000 pesos bill. It's like, what's this for? It's like, because you're being very genuine. You're being such a nice person. You gave me good directions, even though he already knew where he was going. But the point is, here's an example of someone that is being very humanitarian. All he's doing is showcasing the Mexican countryside, the cultures and all that, and bringing this awareness to via the social media, being the medium, to have people become much more aware of these locations all around Mexico in that sense, and just bringing the richness of the cultures. And I know just by the social media means, it brings a lot of attention and business to certain locations. So he's doing a huge humanitarian work without him even knowing that he's doing it. He's just a good-hearted person.
But he's not doing it because he's
is woke or
right and putting that out there.
Right.
It's because he's doing it from his heart, which is what it's all about. We need that power of our heart to really manifest, to put that love out into the world.
Right.
You know, if you think about all the places in this world, I mean, if you're watching this and listening to this and going, what's my mission, and taking courses and doing tarot cards, even if you may feel like, oh my gosh, I'm living paycheck to paycheck, we seem so wealthy and abundant compared to so many others. I mean, they're living with dirt floors. You know, I mean, it's a totally different, it's so different all over the world. And there's so many people on this planet, the indigenous people, the people that just, they stay in their cultures. They're not Americanized or Westernized or whatever you want to call it. And they really are like the salt of the earth, the people that are in harmony. They live with the land, you know, their feet are on the ground, so to speak. And they actually just value, you know,
life,
the good things in life, the basics of life, the simple things that actually makes humanity so beautiful. And to be able to participate in uplifting everyone and uplifting a planet, you know, that's such a good way to step forward and to do that. There's such a need for that out there, and to really just share the love, the abundance for everybody, for everyone. And so I found that to be such a good example of what we're creating, what Unity for Gaia is all about. And what's our mission? Well, that's our mission. It's to assist in bringing forth love and healing a planet and helping everyone here. It's not just about helping those who've awakened or those who are saying, well, you know, I want to talk to my guides and I'd like to be a channel, and I don't have time for, you know, all the people that are unawakened and, you know, blah, 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 blah. Because it's all one planet and we're here to help the whole planet. So that's something that's very near and dear to my heart. And there's plenty of teachers out there that can help you in, you know, doing your own personal healing work, raising your frequency, raising your vibration, you know. And everyone says, well, I feel like I'm a healer. I'm here to heal. Yes, all of humanity, the whole planet, everything, the ecosystems, you know, the animals, the plants, the land, Mother Gaia herself, all of it. We're here to help all of it. And there's so many ways that you can do that coming from your heart. And just to not get lost inside the new age box of what am I here to do? And we get stuck in what are like tarot cards, channeling,
Reiki.
You know, Reiki, which, you know, is a good energetic system. I got some personal opinions on Reiki. I don't let people do energy work on me because lots of times they're carrying things that, you know, I don't want them bringing into my field. They're not even aware of. But you can do Reiki on yourself. You can do your personal energy work. I'm not knocking anyone who does Reiki because most of them are good-hearted and they have the intentions to be helping people and they just want to move life force energy. But very often we're not going to go there in this video, but there's other things, you know,
that's
just
a
other
conversation for
energies
another
moving
video.
that, you know, me personally, I don't let people do energy work on me for that reason. But there's so many ways and new foundations and different places that we can put our love and energy out into the world. You know, start some non-for-profits, do things that aren't out there yet, retool the things that are out there. We need all of it. We need all of it.
And how do you get a lot of that information? How are you more creative?
Do your healing work.
That's where I was going with that. Yeah, do your healing work. I mean, Melissa coming up with a storyline, a download the ideas for the book or books. Okay, being corrected by my higher self. A lot of that has come because of the healing work. You got to clean the debris out to allow the higher frequency templates, ideas, innovations. Are we doing like that? Innovation? I feel like I'm in a soccer game. Just that. It comes back to healings, comes back to clearing yourself and to acknowledging what you already know that you're really good at. Your skill set. Your skill sets. Here's a word. Your skill sets are your gifts. Embrace that. And if you've been doing a job that you really enjoyed when you first started it, and now you're doing it because, that's the only thing I'm good at, and I'm grumpy and I'm right?
But that could be the environment and the way your gift is being used and utilized and implemented.
Right.
Right.
And exploited to an extent, let's be honest, because especially if you're in an environment of supply and demand, whether it doesn't matter, there's so many job careers that this applies to, where you enjoy doing yoga, you enjoy being a personal trainer, I enjoy being a technician, I enjoy doing electrical work, I enjoy whatever. I enjoy it until someone puts this supply and demand type of pressure on. You got to do it quick. Got to please the customer. What sucks the fun out of it? So find a way to put the joy back into that, which you enjoy doing. If that means, and I love your son for this, if that means that you quit your job and you have a strong skill set and you are able as a technician, as a mechanic, hey, well, I know how to put parts together and install aftermarket parts on vehicles that there's a demand for. I create my own business. I create a clientele. I'm doing it on my own time. I tell the customer, hey, it's going to take X amount of time, and I give myself ample amount of time, more than enough. So I take my time. I do the job. I'm enjoying what I do. I put things together. The vehicle, as an example, gets all this off-road or the sports suspension or whatever. It doesn't matter what it applies to. I do it up for the customer, and I deliver it in a time sooner than what I had told the customer. The customer's already going to be ecstatic and happy because I told them it was going to take this amount of time, but it only took X amount of time. So they're getting their vehicle, their toy back, their pride and joy, their baby back, for a lot of you car fanatics out there. I'm just saying. And it's already done up, custom made to their liking. Not only are you raising their frequency, not only do they feel happy, they're enjoying that work that you just did. You enjoyed putting that love of what you just did.
There's a good exchange between the two of you.
Right.
And it carries out. People carry that out into the world. It's like the domino effect. Like,
right.
They're happy, they talk about it. They're happy out there driving. They're talking about their good experience.
They're showcasing their item.
It reaffirms for people that there's like good things, good experiences to be had out there in the world.
Right.
So it all adds up.
Right.
As you were talking, it reminded me of something that all the creative gifts that we have and everything that we bring with us, that's part of the false matrix in all these corporations and systems, is to take all that creative energy and smush it into this little compressed box they control, where they siphon all the good off of it, and they keep you using those skills to feed that system.
Compress. What happens when you compress something? All you guys out there that are pretty savvy with compression, come on. When you compress something, when you put under pressure, let's put the human element into that. Put a human body under pressure. What does that create? Stress. Take the stress out, decompress it, and allow that creativity to start flowing. So if I happen to go to my one of my beautiful two home countries, which is here in the United States and of America and United States of Mexico, I go down there. I already have a skill set. Someone's having vehicle problems, or they need something installed in their house or whatever. I already have a skill set that I can say, what needs to happen? Give me about half an hour. I'll take care of that. Oh, well, I was gonna pay so. Don't you worry about it. I'll handle it. I know how to install this. I know how to put this together for you. You're being more than hospitable to us, and I don't mind doing you a favor. So now I just saved that person money that she or he was gonna spend for a resident technician that happens to be a shyster. Let's just say as an example, because there are some of those over there. Just saying.
There's some of those everywhere,
Yeah.
unfortunately.
But I just did, as an example, that favor that I would do that person makes them feel so happy and so decompressed and stress relieved that there's someone here that has a skill set to handle that which they need. This is my gift to humanity.
Well, not even a favor, because a favor implies like I do something for you, you owe me something.
Well, I'm
more of just
assisting, really, I guess.
Yeah, giving the gift of people will do nice things for you, and we all help each other without wanting something in return. Just pay it forward if you feel,
right.
Like in your own way, the kindness, right?
Right. So that comes back into, as you heal, you start acknowledging what your skill sets are, and your skill sets are your gifts to humanity, and be creative with that. Allow yourself to be creative with that. False matrix, that's interesting. Just a lot of the systems that have been put in place into, you must invest X amount of time and provide certain skill sets, and it's a constant pressure cooker, and it's always that.
And it's all locked into those lower chakras.
Your root chakra.
Yeah.
Survivability.
Yep.
The distortions. I have to do this. I have to. You don't have to do shit. Whether you want to or not, that's a different story. And it's literally starting to acknowledge that. Why do I feel that I have to do this? Can I find another potential job or another venue of how I can creatively create that financial support away from that system? Still participating. What's that saying?
What?
Participating within the system without being part of the current system, and being innovators in that sense.
Yes.
Right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. Just want to make sure I said it right. I can't remember how.
A good example of that would be all the years that up until the big C with the 19 after it happened, I had spent 2 decades building a career by word of mouth, working in the area that I lived and assisting people with their rehab and their bodies. A majority of my clientele was all people that came from having injuries or surgeries, low back, joint replacements. I did work with a lot of seniors, restoring mobility, people who'd had strokes, even people with MS. So lots of Parkinson's, all kinds of stuff. And because I did that, because I loved it, because I love the human body, like I'm such an anatomy and human body geek, don't even like get me started. But over the years, there was a few times early on, in the first couple of years of my work, that I thought to myself, I should go to med school. And I was in my 20s at the time. I should go to med school. I should really
You speak it. I'll be geeking out over here. Don't mind me.
I should really pursue that so I can use it in the medical field. When I looked at the medical field was just not in line with the freedom I had to actually assist people in the way I was assisting them. For instance, they would go to PT, and I'm not knocking PT. PT has helped tons of people, and there's a lot of good physical therapists out there. But lots of times, they're very, they're restricted by the insurance companies and how they work and what they're allowed to do. There's a basic textbook protocol to work with people that have this issue, this injury, etc., etc. And we're all so biodiverse. We're all so unique. in that the way the injury presented or happened for one person isn't the way it's going to for the next. And so there's all these little ways to fine tune and adjust and to shift how you're working with the actual person in front of you, and people just wouldn't get that. So people would come from PT to me, someone like me, other people I know that work and do the same kind of work that I did, and they would find a lot more help and success. And not only that, but if you're going to pay for it, PT releases you after so many weeks. They just set a standard, but it's ongoing to actually rehab the body and get back to where you want to be. So I thought about medical school like a lot early on, and I had tons of clients say to me over the years, you should have went to medical school, you should have been a doctor, you know more about this than so-and-so does, and I'll ask you what's going on with me and you tell me, and sure enough I go get MRIs, tests, and it is what it is. Wasn't sharing with them that I was using my intuitive abilities and other things because I didn't need to. It wasn't, these people don't care about that. They didn't understand it, and that's fine. But I would have been put into this medical system box if I would have used my knowledge and gifts that way. And I was a better help to people by taking my gifts and using them in a way that just helped average everyday people. Did they need to know that their higher self was communicating with my higher self while I was helping troubleshoot what was going on with them? No. As a matter of fact, some of them might have flown out the door and thought I was nuts and never returned. But it helped them, and they got what they needed. They felt good in their bodies. People that went from sleeping in reclining chairs because they were in so much pain to getting up, walking, and going back to doing all their favorite physical activities, playing sports, hockey. So there's ways to use your gifts. You don't have to wave a banner that says, hey, I'm super intuitive, I got, communication, I'm seeing blah, 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 which is something that's kind of been propagated a lot. And I think that's how everybody views the new age, like that's how we do it in the world. And you don't have to. You can still go out and help and use those gifts to silently help in that way. So I just wanted to add that in there.
Which comes back to the same thing, is that as you heal and go through your process and whatever, there's abilities that do come on. There you do like my love over here are able to talk to spirits, are you able to talk to people's guides, higher selves, etc. But let's be honest, going up to someone and saying, even in her profession or myself in conversation of me just looking up and tuning into that person's higher self. Oh, your higher self is saying this. Have you been doing this? Oh, your higher self is doing that. Have you been doing that? Someone who's not prepared to hear that, you're gonna freak them the fuck out, and they're gonna look at you like you deserve to be in the loony bin. So that's something that needs to be one should be mindful of, and by one I'm this one. And it applies to everyone, whether you choose to do it choose to participate however you wish, but be mindful. It's great that in discovering, hey, I'm a Pleiadian, I'm an Arcturian, I'm a mer person, I'm a unicorn, I'm a freaking elemental, whatever other species, race, galactic flavor, galactic being you are. It's phenomenal to discover yourself. It really is, and that's a byproduct of healing yourself and putting forth that you will start to, you may start having communication with other aspects of yourself that look exactly like you or don't look exactly like you, but you recognize that is another aspect of yourself. Be aware and be mindful, and don't get caught up in the, well, I'm an angelic, I'm a this, I'm a that, label.
You're still here in a human body to help humanity.
That's the key thing.
Yeah.
So it's great if you discover, oh, I had a life in Lemuria and Atlantis and this other galaxy and blah blah, and it's whatever the experience it is, it's phenomenal, it's awesome. You're a fairy, you're an elven, you're an ascended master, you're whatever. That's awesome. Congratulations on remembering more of who you are. However, how does that apply here?
And to bring those gifts in and to use them, you need to anchor them in this realm, and that happens through healing and clearing those lower chakras and energy centers so that you can actually bring that stuff through.
Right.
And you can put it forth into the world. You can create with it. You can create the abundance with it. You can anchor the place for it in the world. You can give it roots and let it begin to grow.
And how do you bring innovation to this world? As you clear yourself, you create better, stronger roots, starting with your root chakra, sacral chakra, solar plexus. Come into your heart, speak your truth, see clearly, rock that crown that you
Connect
have.
to source.
There you go.
Yeah.
So there's a I'm not gonna say it that way. There's an a expedited, condensed way of how a lot of this works, right? That's just a brief, highlights of right? And also, as you go through your healing process, through your remembrance process, everything one and the same. There's no separation as far as it's a label, right?
Yes.
And you heal and you recognize some people in your life, in this life, right? They happen to potentially play a part as what's the word? I don't want to say antagonist because that's not the
Catalyst?
right word. Catalyst, yeah.
For healing?
Yeah, right. Catalyst for healing. Or say, for instance, you've had an experience with other people that you might not know personally, but you see them via social media and whatever, and something about that one person may rub you the wrong way or whatever, and then you start remembering, let's just play with aquatic flavor because I like aquatic, I'm a Pisces. Let's play in Atlantis. Oh, we live next to the Atlantic Ocean. Imagine that, huh? So say you had an experience in Atlantis and you participated in one way, shape, or form, but there was someone that wronged you there, right? And for whatever reason, you may not know that person in this lifetime, but that trauma that needs to be healed, that should be healed, I should say, if you wish to do it, right? Carried over from that lifetime, and now you're in this lifetime, right? But you just remembered, I lived in Atlantis. Wow, that's interesting. Why is it that this person on social media or even news, it doesn't matter, that I've never met in person, or maybe you have, maybe it's someone that is in your life, but why is it that I have some sort of animosity or something about that person rubs me the wrong way? Well, you go through your healing process, you start remembering that details of that lifetime, and you start remembering, oh my goodness, myself and this person participate in this manner, and I may have been wronged, or I have wronged him or her, it doesn't matter, but there's a rift there that needs to be healed. Doesn't matter how the participation happened. So you start healing that. You start acknowledging that we are all source, we are all part of God, creator, right? And acknowledge that those lessons happened there for the purpose of soul growth. And take learning, and there waterworks happen, so that's normal, just so everyone knows, meaning crying. That's how you heal. Allow to feel that feeling and allow it to come forth and release it. Release it in divine neutrality. View it from a neutral standpoint, and your body, because you do carry all that energy within your DNA, it comes to the surface as you release it in divine neutrality and just an appreciation of the experience for what that was, right? And send it back to God, send it back to source, and come into that neutral state of being, of now being able to remember those thoughts or those memories, thank you, love, from that existence, and view that person. Obviously you don't forget, you remember, awakening, remembering. Just because you have forgiven yourself, you have forgiven that person, and forgiven the situation that has transpired, and viewing it as an observer from a neutral perspective, that now in this life, moving forward, you may see that person in whatever manner, whether physically in your life or in the media or social media or whatever, right? Because we're so connected with that you can actually start seeing patterns. Oh my goodness, that person is emulating or participating the way this person participated in Atlantis, and I happen to be a participant of such situation. So you start getting more epiphanies of, oh, that's what that is, and then those epiphanies, that is your stage of, or your phase of healing yourself, viewing that person without an emotional charge and allowing your body and your energetic field to go through those transformations, and you'll feel it in your body in one way, shape, or form.
And as you do your healing and healing like that, you're putting that healing out into the collective. You're creating those templates energetically to be able to heal and to be able to hold that more neutral. You're giving a gift to that person, whether they choose to accept it or not. That is up to them. But the more you heal yourselves, that's creating that unity that we're looking for, because it's no more us against them, right?
Right.
Which is, I think, the big one that
it's still propagated.
It's still, I mean, it's everywhere. If you look at the world right now, you could, whether you got something stuck in you or not, whether you believe this, whether you want to wear this, or what.
It doesn't matter.
Whatever. There's so much, and it's one planet and one species. We're all humanity. It doesn't matter what color you are or how you paint your toenails or whatever. We're all human beings being human on Gaia, on planet Earth. And that's the root of what everyone's mission is, right?
So, the root, huh?
Yeah. So I guess that's what we wanted to share today.
Going back to the root. She's got to go handle her root issues.
So
very well planted, I guess.
Yes, I have to go handle stuff. So, anything else you'd like to add before we go?
No, that's pretty much it. Just come. Okay. A lot of people talk about divine neutrality. You achieve divine neutrality as you heal.
Yes.
And you start learning to operate from that divine neutrality.
And you start to find your mission.
Bingo. That's where the clarity comes from.
Your purpose, if you want to call it that. I like your purpose. Our purpose is to heal.
I like your purpose too.
To love, to send out love, to put love, to heal the planet and everyone and everything here. They don't need to be
divisive,
awake. They don't need to be having the mothership land over their house and beam them up. They don't need to be speaking your language about frequency and vibration. They just need assistance in seeing why we're actually all here, which is to help raise the frequency of ourselves and raise the frequency of the planet. They don't need a lecture. They need an example.
Bingo.
So
you assist a lot more. You assist more people. The saying, an image, what's it? A picture is worth 1,000 words. Yeah. An action, a person in action, is worth more than 1,000 words. You are a shining example of how to human. And then other humans from other planets can be like, I'm going to interact with that human because that's a nice human. The other humans, I don't know. They've still got a ways to go, but that's okay. We're still patient. We've been waiting for them for millions, thousands, millions of years. But we're patient.
So thank you for joining us today once again. And if you would like to reach out to us for a BQH session, which we do together, and or separately if you want one in Spanish, right?
She'll speak Spanish eventually, but
I have some Spanish, but
you don't even want
to know my vernaculars right now.
It's not
my vocabulary. I mean, so
says the whoopee cushion fanatic.
Oh my gosh. You can email us at unity4gaia, same as our channel, at gmail.com. And we hope to see you soon. Thank you. Keep spreading love to humanity. Namaste.
You guys rock. Put the shit that Bye, guys.